And I want to just return to this concept of enforcing laws that you brought up that Kamala Harris used as a part of her just stay home speech in South America. I wonder what your take is on the usage of like international law in some of these debates, because yes, international law says that we need to accept asylum seekers, and even US law says that, right? But a lot of times laws, like how Kamala Harris used it, can be deployed in a way that upholds capital and upholds inequity and exploitation. And it seems to me, one, she's not enforcing our laws, right, because of our asylum laws. But at the same time, she can say, oh, I'm enforcing, at the time at least, Title 42, which is our law. So in using that, is it more of a helpful tool for us as progressives and your work and what we're trying to achieve? Or is it usually deployed more cynically, like by people like Kamala Harris?
Honestly, mostly the latter, right? Like the law generally, and I try to point this out multiple times in the text, is like the law most of the time is used as a tool of exclusion rather than inclusion, right? And there's a level at which, and we don't have time today, but like there's a level at which that's just inherent in the nature of nation states and citizenship, because it is a question of who is included in the we. But even more broadly, it's like the international context, there's no guarantees whatsoever. And the Jewish refugee scholar, philosopher Hannah Arendt talks a little bit about this, that it's like the refugee actually is the true person of rights because they have no guarantors of those. They exist only in and of themselves. And in many ways, the fact that there is no nation to protect them proves that this concept of citizenship is actually broken.
I mean, just to expand a little bit on that, because I think that's important for people to understand this sort of notion of like the failure of the idea that you can have people sort of in between being a citizen and not, sort of stuck in this netherworld, is an indictment of the concept of citizenship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the millions of refugees worldwide is a daily indictment of that, in my opinion. Because, to use a recent example of Afghanistan, right? It's like we have 20 years of conflict there, millions of displaced people. There's no one, literally no one, that's accountable to them. No nation is required to take them on. The US has no responsibility to bring any of them here. It's really only by the goodwill of a handful of places that they even get the paltry, refugee camps that, are set up throughout the globe, right? So yes, in that sense, right, the concept of citizenship is broken because the idea that everyone belongs somewhere and has protection from someone is inherently untrue.
Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.